Housing Development Program and the globe. Number one, Housing Development Program.
It's another interesting time right here in the studio as we bring you another fully packed edition of Housing Development Program, your most reliable source of housing information. My name is Namso Thelma. Thank you for joining me once again. Now, President Buhari last week announced portfolios for his new ministers who are to take charge of affairs as the government commences its next phase fully. And Babatunde Fashola was retained as Minister of Works and Housing, with Ministry of Power separated from the others. Well, a big congratulations to him, but stakeholders have laid out areas that should be focused on in order to achieve better outcomes within the next 4 years. Now, to take us on this, we'll have a housing stakeholder in the studio. We also have other interesting packages lined up for you, but I will start by bringing you, as usual, news updates in housing and construction. Built environment professionals have asked the new Minister of Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, who served as Minister of Power, Works and Housing in the first tenure of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, to be more focused to ensure the delivery of uncompleted works and housing projects he started across the country, now that his workload has been reduced. The President, Nigerian Institute of Building, Mr. Kunle Awobuju, who lauded the reduction in Fashola's workload to works and housing, says this second comment will give him the opportunity to complete works and housing projects he started across the country that he couldn't complete before the expiration of Buhari's first tenure. Also commenting on Fashola's second coming, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Property Gate Development and Investment PLC, Mr. Adetokunbo Ajayi, says with the minister now responsible for only the works and housing portfolios, this should naturally allow for better focus and prevent dissipation of energies in too many directions. The federal government has been urged to discourage activities that could lead to the importation of paint in the country by increasing tariff on anything that has to do with paint importation. The chairman, Paint Manufacturers Association, Mr. Ambolu Babatunde, said this while speaking at the press conference for the Paint Manufacturers Association 2019 coating show, billed for October 28 and 29 this year. He says the aim is to discourage the importation of paint, since Nigeria is self-sufficient in calcium used in manufacturing of paints. The federal government has promised to address housing deficit by delivering 1 million houses per year to close the 17 million shortfalls by the year 2033. The Minister of State, Works and Housing, Mr. Abubakar Aliyu, disclosed this in Abuja on Saturday during an inspection of the Federal Housing Authority mass housing project in Zuba, Federal Capital Territory. Aliyu said the government had decided to improve on current construction of 100,000 houses per year in order to meet the basic needs of the people. And finally, the United Kingdom is to assist Gombe state government in the areas of skill acquisition and youth empowerment for 4 years. Program Manager, Skills for Prosperity of British High Commission, Mr. Tese Inyulaku, said during a courtesy call on Governor Inuwa Yaya in Gombe that the intervention was to ensure that young people acquire valuable skills to make them employable and also create jobs for themselves. He said the program being implemented in the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria had Gombe State representing the Northeast and would be implemented between 2019 and 2023. welcome back. For more, you can visit www.housingnews.org.ng. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at Housing TV Africa for more updates in housing. Now that Babatunde Raji Fashola has retained his seat as minister with the Ministry of Power removed from the equation, stakeholders have been outlining important areas of urgent focus for the minister. After this break, I will be joined by one of the stakeholders in the housing sector as he'll be speaking on areas the minister should focus on for adequate housing delivery. Don't go anywhere. If you're just joining us, the program is Housing Developments, and we have in the house today a very important stakeholder in the housing sector, talking about Mr. Festus Adebayo, the President's Housing Development Advocacy Group. Thank you for joining us on the program today.
So thank you. That's my pleasure.
All right, now I want to talk about setting an agenda for Fashola for his new administration. Now, I'll first of all ask you, how do you feel about the unbundling of the sector, the slight unbundling, taking away power from the other sectors?
Firstly, I must congratulate Barrister Babatunde Fashola, Minister for Works and Housing. You could remember I've been on this program as various times
Of course.
when I condemned the idea of having three ministries together. So I must say that I'm pleased, I'm happy, because the problem will be reduced by one. For him, at this point, he will be concentrating on two ministries.
All right. Now, what are the urgent expectations from stakeholders, from the minister for his new administration?
Our Housing Development Advocacy Network, immediately Fashola was announced, the Minister for Works and Housing, we roll out our 7-point agenda to him. Dear Honorable Minister, please, as you review your activities in the area of those houses that you are building, please think about the affordability of Nigerians.
Yeah.
The houses you are building shouldn't be for the people up. It should be for those people who really need the houses, the middle and the low-income earners.
Yeah.
1. 2, we need you at this new time, work very closely with family-owned funds,
Okay.
Federal Mortgage Bank,
Okay.
all professional bodies, mortgage, including Mortgage Banking Association, and even the Central Bank of Nigeria, so that the issue of mortgage and laws, bills that are standing in the National Assembly can be looked into. I have read about family-owned fund, good intention by the federal government, but dear Honorable Minister, please, how do you work with those parastatals so that the people that need the houses can have it? Beyond that, I want to use this opportunity to call on the minister. Please, stop your ministry from engaging in direct construction. Please, do more PPP and have a strong supervisory team. Please support the sector in ensuring that some of the outstanding bills in the National Assembly are passed to law. Housing is a key for economy development. No man that has a house and has family, we want to die like chicken.
Of course.
Housing is key. Housing and health, they go together.
Yeah.
The more we house our people in a decent place, the less we are going to spend on their heads. Housing goes with productivity. A man who slept well, we work better than a man who slept under the bridge or who slept in a slum. Housing is very important. Our roads are not motorable, and that make it easy for the criminals to kidnap. Dear Honorable Minister, we need your help in the area of road. Nigerians are not secured. Majority of the people cannot even travel to their state or travel to their villages anymore. Next level, I keep hearing next level. I want to see next level in the area of housing. I want to see next level in the area of mortgage. I want to see next level in the area of affordability. In Nigeria, a country that does not have 1-digit interest rate, how would the people have the capacity to own the houses? Cash and carry home ownership cannot fly. So it's my pleasure to welcome back the Honorable Minister, Babatunde Fashola.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Festus, for coming on the program today. Those are really key points. I hope that the minister will take take note of and other stakeholders will take note of. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Right, this is Mr. Festus Adebayo. We've just been speaking to him on setting an agenda for the new administration of Fashola. So we hope that the right things are being done. The program will continue right now after the break. So stay with us. Welcome back. Setting agenda in the area of housing delivery continues. So if you have more on what you think should be done, you can reach out to me on our mail, housingdevelopmentprogram@gmail.com, and we will help pass your message across. Now, moving on, Royal Engineered Stones Limited, a product of West African Ceramics Limited, which is a leading manufacturer of ceramic, vitrified, and roofing tiles in Nigeria, held its Royal Distributors Meet last week. Royal was also present at the 13th Abuja International Housing Show as its CEO, Mr. Bhaskar Rao, received an award for CEO Building Material Company of the Year. Take a look. Royal Engineered Stones Limited, a product of West African Ceramics Limited, which is a leading manufacturer of ceramic, vitrified, and roofing tiles in Nigeria, held its Royal Distributors Meet last week. This was an awards and dinner night organized to appreciate its distributors in Southwest and Southeast region. In his opening remarks, the CEO, Royal Ceramics Limited, Mr. Bhaskar Rao, says the aim of the distributors meet is to enhance productivity and provide better services for all. He commends the distributors and says their commitment and excellent performance would not go unnoticed.
Let me also reassure you that your commitment and excellent performance shall neither go unnoticed and unrewarded. You can always count us on for the material, moral, and intellectual support toward helping you success further. I want to say a very big thank you to all our invited guests for honoring our invitation.
He also revealed that in line with its drive for innovation, Royal has recently embarked on a partnership with Hydraform Nigeria towards delivery of mass housing scheme.
In line with our drive for innovation, Royal has recently embarked on a partnership with Hydraform Nigeria toward delivery of mass housing scheme. This pilot project is in line with the vision of Federal Government of Nigeria to offer affordable housing units to the masses. I am very proud to say that we have successfully achieved our aim of providing housing unit under the cap of budget of 3 million naira to each beneficiary.
Awards received by distributors were in different categories like the Gold Tiles Award, Marble Platinum Award, Tile Silver Award, and so on, not excluding phone gifts. Some of the distributors expressed how elated they were about the awards and gifts received and promised to keep doing more.
They've really done well, and as a businessman, I will do more.
You should expect more sales. And as they have told us about the Royal Engineering Stone, we are going into the market to advertise it more.
Royal, which was also present at the 13th Abuja International Housing Show, had its CEO, Mr. Bhaskar Rao, receive an award for CEO Building Material Company of the Year.
Mr. P. Bhaskar Rao, on behalf of 13th Abuja International Housing Show, I'm presenting to you the award as the CEO of the Building Materials Company of the Year 2019.
Royal Ceramics has grown to be one of the biggest manufacturers of ceramics, vitrified, and roofing tiles in West Africa, with strong distributorship and strong representation across the West African sub-region. tuned to Housing Development. If you were just joining us, your most reliable source of housing information. We advocate for provision of affordable housing needs for Nigerians. Talking about affordable housing, Family Homes Funds recently signed a deal with the Adamawa state government to provide 2,000 homes for civil servants in the state and other low-income earners. Let's have a look at this report. Federal government social housing scheme Family Homes Funds has signed a deal worth up to 8.3 billion naira with the Adamawa state government to provide 2,000 homes for civil servants in the state and other low-income earners. This has been described as a landmark achievement for Family Homes Funds in its mandate of working with state governments to improve the quality of life of the citizens through the provision of affordable housing. Speaking at the signing ceremony, Mr. Femi Adewale, the MD and CEO of Family Homes Funds Limited, says Family Homes Fund is excited about the commitment of the administration and the governor's own personal commitment in working with them to ensure they can partner in providing financing for 2,000 homes for civil public servants in the state of Adamawa.
Your administration, but particularly your own personal commitment to working with us to ensure that we can partner with you in providing financing for 2,000 homes for civil and public servants in the state of Adamawa.
Speaking further, he says the intervention is in 4 categories, which include provision of financing through its Help to Own scheme and creation of jobs, adding that not less than 50,000 people in the state will receive training in construction skills.
A critical part of the development program is to institute an apprenticeship and a skills development program, particularly for young people in the state. We expect that through this investment, no less than 50,000 young people will have an opportunity to receive training and skills development, particularly in the construction trade.
Also speaking, the governor of Adamawa State, Amadu Fintiri, says the partnership is a way for his administration to deliver on its campaign promises. He expressed hope that the houses will be delivered within the time frame of the agreement.
During our campaign and during the administration's early life, we have promised our civil servants that we will give them homes and we will deliver 2,000 houses for them in the first instance. Here we are today, having gone into agreement with Family Homes to come and construct and build 2,000 houses for our private and public civil servants, both at the state and the federal level, who are residents in Adamawa, for them to benefit from this housing scheme. Thank you and God bless.
The project has a time frame of 18 months for completion. Femi Adewale says 1,200 units of houses will be in Yola and 800 units will be distributed across the state. The Family Homes Funds was set up as part of government's intervention program to provide 500,000 homes. It is focused in financing homes for Nigerians who are on low and middle income. And provision of housing needs to Nigerians, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has commended leading primary mortgage institution, Platinum Mortgage Bank PLC, and has promised to partner more with them towards housing provision. The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, has promised to partner more with leading primary mortgage institution, Platinum Mortgage Bank. This was made known by the MD and CEO of FMBN, Ahmed Dangiwa, on Monday when Platinum Mortgage Bank paid the bank a courtesy call at their headquarters in Abuja. Speaking at the meeting, Dangiwa said that the Platinum Mortgage Bank is one of their biggest partners and is one of the most performing primary mortgage banks in Nigeria.
Platinum has been a very critical stakeholder to National Housing Fund.
Thank you, sir.
Because they have created mortgage loans over 10 billion naira currently and is still running. One thing about it, all this exposure, they have been performing loans. They are one of the outstanding PMBs that have been performing. So through you, we are still committed to advance more facilities on this for home ownership. We are willing to partner with you or with your organization to create an enabling environment for further synergy in this service delivery of home ownership to Nigerians.
He commended Platinum Mortgage Bank on their recent recapitalization and said that FMBN is willing to partner with them in the delivery of affordable home ownership in Nigeria.
But we are happy to hear that, to learn that you are being recapitalized. You are being recapitalized to 7 billion and you are about to trying to see that it has reached up to the 10 billion naira recapitalization. With this, I think the bank will be able to come back again and do a lot of business with us. We wish to congratulate you on that, and we hope that you can even acquire some of those smaller PMBs in order to make more broad base for Platinum. I think that's the only way to strengthen the market. There are a lot of PMBs that have just been registered but they have not been performing, and they are just sitting idle. These are the kind of PMBs to which you can absorb and then buy them over in order to strengthen your base again.
Speaking on the sidelines of the meeting, the MD and CEO of Platinum Mortgage Bank, Emmanuel Mbaka, said himself and the board of the bank were satisfied with the outcome of the meeting.
We were very happy that the managing director himself has taken up the challenge to champion our cause. Platinum Mortgage Bank is the biggest partner of Federal Mortgage Bank in area of loan creation, which is the main focus of the Federal Mortgage Bank.
He says another meeting will be held in a fortnight to agree on points raised at the present meeting.
We have agreed that we are going to have a meeting in a fortnight in which we will agree on all the points that have been raised today.
Platinum Mortgage Bank is one of the leading mortgage banks in Nigeria and has today recapitalized to the sum of 7 billion naira, and its share capital is set to move up to 10 billion naira by 2020. Welcome back. Still on home ownership, Urban Shelter is looking towards going green, and that's good news for potential homeowners. Want to know what this is all about? Take a listen to this.
At Urban Shelter, what we try to do in the past 2 decades is to progressively define and progress our buildings more and more into sustainable development. What we did is utilize material that was manufactured from clay. The red bricks, they are eco-friendly, they're sustainable material. We utilize them to define and develop affordable housing. Houses sold at 5 million naira to 8 million naira. What that material did for us is to provide us the footprint to provide people housing that doesn't require much air conditioning, for example. The red burn bricks are thermal insulators. They are humidity absorbent. They give you so much sustainable element that kind of gives you that parameter to fall into what the professor just talked about earlier in ecosystem. What we're doing further at Urban Shelter is to develop, for the past 2 years, we've been studying, defining, analyzing, designing the new sustainable city in Abuja. And I'm glad to say today on this podium that by December 2019, we'll be launching the first sustainable city in Abuja. And that sustainable city is not only going to address the apparent elements that we know about climate control and so on. Now, we're going to go to the core of saving elements, such as water, recycling water, utilization of gray water, for example, for flushing system, for secondary utilization of water. We're going to go ahead and conserving rainwater overdrawn to utilize it for irrigation and element like that. We're going to go into providing alternative energy. Silver LEED buildings gives you about 25% savings in your utility and OPEX at the end of each year. Think about it, 25%. What would it do to you for capital investment today over the next 10 years? I think the math is not about today, it's about tomorrow. Now, let's not forget that, yeah, we're developers. It's going to be about money, it's going to be about how much profit we're making. But let's talk about also the social and environmental responsibilities that we have. It comes down to us. We're the one providing these houses. We're the one developing and building the houses. We're the one designing the houses. Let's make sure that we design something, we provide something, we build something that's sustainable. And I promise you that the end user will pay for it, because at the end of the day, he's spending less money to manage that development. Thank you very much.
You can get a house at Urban Shelter Limited by calling the numbers displayed on your TV screen.
Now, for want of time, this is where we wrap up on the program today. Remember to go subscribe to our YouTube page at Housing TV Africa for more updates in the housing sector. You can follow us on Facebook and on Twitter at Housing Program. You can like and share our posts. Now, for those of you who want to be part of this program or advertise on it, you can send us a message on WhatsApp on our phone number on your screen, or send a mail to the mail address housingdevelopmentprogram@gmail.com. My name is Nomso Thoma, and I'll see you next week.